it's time to set the record straight with chiropractic, no pun intended. What's going on, Scott County area? This is Dr. Jeff May, owner and office director here at Advantage Health Center. And in this video, I'm going to explain to you several key components, whether you've ever been to a chiropractor before, whether you've never been, or whether you're thinking about it, key things to know going in. And for those of you who are under chiropractic care or have experienced some key things to think about the next time you go to improve your health and productivity. You see, here is the wild thing we never think about is that you live your life through 31 pairs of spinal nerves. Yes, 31 nerves. So think about all the jobs that your body does each and every day, from breathing to your heart beating, digesting food, all the things in your brain you never have to think about, like your kidneys functioning, the liver enzymes, like all the things that have to happen in your body go through 31 pairs of nerves. That's it. So for those of you who are like, oh, I don't need to go to a chiropractor, understand this. If you want a healthy life, you have to have a healthy nervous system. And if you want a healthy nervous system, you have to have a healthy spine. Your spine is like your suit of armor protecting the nerves, and we're constantly adapting to three types of stress: physical, chemical, emotional. For example, the number one physical stress that most people struggle with is sedentary lifestyles. Sitting anywhere from 8 to 10 to 12 hours a day behind a computer screen is like the new smoking. I used to say sitting is the new smoking. Lately, I've been saying sitting is the new fentanyl. Physical stress is a big problem. Chemical stress, not getting enough water, sugary foods, drugs, medication, alcohol, all of those things going in and out of your body have an effect, and your body has to adapt to it. And then finally, third one, the big one, emotional stress. We all go through this, whether it's the excitement called eustress. Did you know, like, good stress actually is called eustress? And then you've got the negative stress, but all of the things in between, we are constantly inundated. In fact, one statistic shows that in 30 days of our life, we experience more stress than our grandparents did in their entire life. Yes, we live in a stressful world, and it's your nervous system's job to adapt to that stress properly. And when we don't, what happens? Our sleep is affected, our energy, we get sick more often, we get indigestion, we get crabby, like all of these things from a functional standpoint. Our body starts to shift away from health and towards dis-ease. So how can you change that? How does chiropractic play a role in that? Next time you're thinking about going into a chiropractor, understand this. Here are the top questions. And in all reality, some of the frustrations people have with chiropractic. For example, I hear this all the time, 17 years of my career. Oh, once you go to a chiropractor, you always have to go. First of all, you don't have to do anything. It's like going to the gym. Once you go to a gym, it doesn't mean you have to keep going. But what I've found is that the things that actually help you and improve your life, you want to incorporate. Like the first time I brushed my teeth, I'm sure I fought my parents on it. In fact, they probably brushed them for me. But as I got older, they're like, hey, did you brush your teeth? And you realize it's like, man, there's some mornings it's like, yeah, I got to brush my teeth again. Yes, anything you use requires maintenance. So understand that your spine, using it protecting the nerves, it's going to require maintenance at some point. And you can either encourage that maintenance, get ahead of it, be proactive, or wait inevitably for something to break down and bust, and then see what your odds are, right? So when you look at that, another thing we hear often is like, well, how do you know how many times I need to be adjusted? Because sometimes, the chiropractors, I have to go like 3 days a week or 2 days a week and all these things, and gosh, my schedule is busy. Listen, recommendations are always based off of two things. So when you go into your chiropractor or wherever you're going, you have to understand you have to have a goal. So the goal is like one mark on the map. And so we know where we want to get to, but how do we know to get there unless we know where we're starting? You see, our findings in the office, your chiropractor's findings, their clinical tests that they do on day one, are going to determine what you need to do to reach your goals. So recommendations are always based on two things: your goals and my findings. Now, if you go into a chiropractor where they just throw you on a table and say, hey, let's adjust you and see what happens, I would find someone with more expertise, maybe more experience. In either case, you want to be thorough when it comes to your health. And personally, I don't want to mess around when it comes to reaching my goals. As I get older, I have less and less time, and nobody gets out of life alive. I want to make sure I'm leveraging every single day to the best of my ability to become better. Why? Well, I want to be a better husband, a better father, a better chiropractor, all of these things similar to you. And that's why it's so important when you have those goals and targets. Finally, how often should I be adjusted? This is a question that comes up as well. I'll tell you that inevitably how long somebody quote unquote holds an adjustment will determine their frequency. Many times, because of what I mentioned before in this video, the stress of life, is that frankly, once a week, I mean, I get adjusted once a week because I know the stresses I go through every other week. Now, could I hold an adjustment longer? Absolutely. Every other week, people can hold that too. But what I found is most people, by the time 3 weeks goes by, instead of actually staying or maintaining their health status, they tend to get pushed back by the stresses of life and they start to slip and lose and quote unquote go back. This is also why you hear people, well, I used to go and it helped, but now it hurts again. Listen, you need to keep up with your health and you need to be proactive. It's just part of life. You don't get an oil change in your car and then never need an oil change again. Okay, so remember that next time you guys are looking in and going in. If you do have questions, comment below. This video is a little longer than typically I do, but I wanted to address these core issues because at the end of the day, education is important. And for you to become educated on how your body functions, what you can do to help support it, man, if I can do things outside the office, I would say chiropractic is a done with you, not a done for you program. So our patients that get the best results, they're keeping their appointments, they're breaking bad habits, and they're following their at-home exercises. All of those three things make up the three-legged stool that we call here at Advantage Health Center. Like I said, if you've got questions, comment below. If you're looking for chiropractic help, if you've never considered chiropractic as part of your healthy lifestyle strategy, give us a call, comment below. We're easy to get a hold of. And until we see you next time, I wish you the best, healthy, happy, and productive life possible.